Hey guys, and welcome to the patch notes for the 15th of August 2018 patch. So in this patch, there's a few small changes. The biggest changes are the book of training for both skill and combat experience has been added, allowing adventurers to train both their level and skill points AFK. Changes to the Savage Rift, and preparations for BDO Remastered, which should release next week. So, to start off with, events. The Squad Up event is here. It is a guild event. Collaborate with your guild members to complete missions and get your hands on special treasure chests. These chests have some pretty nice items in them, but odds are you're probably only going to get hards or sharps. The Conquer Savage Rift event has also been added. So during this time, there will be a brand new ogre boss on Savage Rift, and it will appear in a lucky stage 26, which has a 50% chance of spawning. More on that in a second. Ongoing events, double rewards, silver and guild experience for guild missions, as well as the attendance rewards. And the Saddle Up event has ended. So the biggest change of this patch is the Book of Training has been added. So Book of Training Combat and Book of Training Skill are items you can use that will allow you to use the Black Spirit's training system. Using this, you can purchase the Book of Training from Jamie Drucker in Velia, Heidel, Calpheon, Altanova, and Valencia. And if you use it, the buff will appear on top of your screen. While this buff is in effect, you can interact with scarecrows in each town to proceed with training. Only one adventurer can pair up with one scarecrow at a time, so if too many players are using them, you will not be able to use the scarecrows. So you can have both active at once, both combat and skill, and every 3 minutes of training, you will gain experience in whichever book you have active. You cannot perform any other actions while training, however, all the experience buff effects do apply. You also need to be level 50 or above in order to use these, by the way. Common experience gained from Black Spirit's training can be altered as it is affected from all experience buff effects. So Fever Time, event experience buffs, pet skills, Book of Combat, Golden Bells, and elixirs, as well as the Olvia server boost, all apply to the Black Spirit's training when training for combat experience. However, for Book of Training skill, the effect cannot stack, and items that add on to increasing and obtaining skill experience will not be stacked either. So don't try stacking skill experience effects, only try for combat experience effects. It won't apply during regular maintenance, but your time will still be used if you activate a book beforehand, so try not to activate a book before maintenance begins. And yeah, that's essentially it. It's AFK training for both combat experience and skill point experience, allowing you to get your character to 60 or higher, all completely AFK. It does cost silver to use, so it is a little expensive, but for anyone with sea monster money, pretty easy. Savage Rift has also received a few changes. So total duration is now down to about 20 minutes. Number of monsters has been reduced by 40%. The amount of silver has been halved, so 40% less monsters, but the silver is 50% less. The Savage Rift reward box will give slightly less rewards upon opening. Experience gained has been reduced by 40%. Rewards obtained have been reduced. The reduced playtime should allow players to participate in more Savage Rifts and gain more rewards overall, hopefully. Trace of Savagery will be given upon 100% chance upon opening a Savage Rift reward box. The cooldown of the Hwacha and Lynch Cannon has been reduced by 50% in the Savage Rift. And rewards given for completing stages of monsters has been changed to the below rewards. So here you can see them. There's also a brand new event boss, the Savage Ogre. So for the next 2 weeks until the 29th for maintenance, after stage 25, if you succeed, there is a 50-50 chance of triggering a new stage, stage 26, which will allow you to fight the Savage Ogre. If you defeat him, he will give you a Savage Rift reward box, which gives you a Soiled Ogre Ring and a Trace of Savagery at a 100% chance. Aiming for the head will deal increased damage. So, some interesting changes to Savage Rift here, trying to make it a more viable game mode for players that don't want to grind like normal. Apart from that, there are a few changes preparing for the release of BDO Remastered. High-end mode beta under settings will no longer be available. The Pearl Abyss company logo animation has been changed. Game performance when many players are gathered in one area has been improved, so hopefully that affects Node Wars. The guild bonus system has also been changed in order to alleviate the inconvenience that can arise from a week-long waiting period of guild bonus distribution. So it resets every midnight on Saturdays, and until the following Saturday, guild bonuses can be distributed regardless of which day you decide to distribute. Apart from that, there's not too many other big changes. There are floating airships which will now circle the skies around Calpheon, Heidel, Altanova, and Velia. However, these airships cannot be boarded, so please do not try it. You know what that means, boys? I expect to see some screenshots of people standing on these airships fairly soon. Apart from that, not too many other big changes. Some exploits using character selection function have been fixed, and by fixed, they basically disabled it in a lot of scenarios when you're in combat zones. In safe zones, you can use it still whenever you want for character selection, so changing character. Stamina will no longer be consumed when jumping or sprinting during non-combat mode, which is pretty big actually. Not very many character changes this week, mostly just issue fixes. For example, one of the biggest changes is fix the issue where the flag appeared detached from the hand when performing the social action of flagging for the lawn. The only really big changes I see are the forward guard effect has been added to the skill Flow Bombardment for the Dark Knight, and a small change to Kunoichi's guard, which will be released if her stamina falls below 100. For item changes, there's been small changes to the following dishes: steamed seafood, seafood pasta, smoked fish steak, fish fillet salad, and organic feed. It takes one less mud skipper now for organic feed, as this is the most relevant. They've changed the text for sub-weapons to make it more clear, so instead of critical damage plus 1, it'll be critical extra damage plus 10%. After defeating Vel has received a few changes as well. The loot has been increased, and after defeating Vel, a column of light will now show where loot can be collected. And apart from that, there's not too many other big changes this week. A lot of interface changes, lots of issue fixes, but really the only notable changes are the Book of Training for Combat and Skill, the BDO remastered preparations which have begun, the changes to Savage Rift, and then a few of the smaller changes like no longer consuming stamina when jumping or sprinting during non-combat mode. Anyways guys, those are the patch notes for the 15th of August 2018 patch. Hope you enjoyed them. Comment below what you think, subscribe if you liked it, and as always, have a good one.